YouTube, what's going on? This is your dude, Intergalactic Brew, coming at you one more again. This video, I'm going to finish off the last part of my UFC 128 predictions happening this Saturday at 10 o'clock sharp, exclusively on pay-per-view. Gonna talk about the main event. Mauricio Shogun Rua defending his newly won light heavyweight championship of the world against the incomparable Johnny Bones Jones. Now, looking at this fight, wait, hold on 1 second. I didn't want any distractions because, you know, certain people in the house love to sneak by and eavesdrop on your conversation. So, but anyway, I'm gonna try to get through this as quick as I can. But this match here, Mauricio Shogun Rua and John Bones Jones, a lot of people have different aspects about this. A lot of people are saying that, you know, John Jones has every possible advantage that you can think of in this fight. You know, he's got a excuse me, he's got the height advantage, he's got the reach advantage, the wingspan, whatever you want to call it. You know, a lot of people say that he's the better striker than Shogun, and that he can take Shogun down with ease and all this other stuff. But this is the thing. Why some of that might be true, notice I said some of that, keyword. While some of that might be true, people are still forgetting Shogun Rua is a very well-rounded fighter himself. People tend to forget that, because the same thing that they're saying about John Bones Jones is the same thing they said about Machida. Machida was supposed to be invincible. He was supposed to be the most unhittable fighter in the UFC. You know, he was quicker than Shogun. He had more arsenal of strikes than Shogun did. And he was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Okay, Shogun is a BJJ black belt as well. Remember? No, because y'all are caught up in the John Jones hype. See, this is what I don't understand. Like, Shogun constantly keeps defying the odds, but it seems like when he goes up against an opponent that just dazzles these critics and, you know, just does all this wild, unorthodox type of crap, they tend to get caught up in that person, and they forget about the guy who's holding the belt is just as skilled, if not more skilled, than that person that he's going up against. But the bottom line is, though, John Jones is good. I'm not gonna lie, John Jones is damn good. He really is. But here's the thing. Has John Jones met a guy that is just as quick as he is? Has John Jones met an elite level striker? Has John Jones met a top 3 opponent, let alone a top 3 light heavyweight before? No. No, and no, and no. John Jones has never beaten an elite level light heavyweight. All these guys that he's beaten before and made it look so quote-unquote easy were either against prospects, guys that were trying to work their way into the top 10, or guys that were just non-top 10 at all. I mean, Vladimir Matyushenko, okay, granted, he's a tough guy, he's a Sambo guy, but I mean, really, you know, he's getting over in age. He's not as quick and not as athletic as John Jones, so okay. You would expect John Jones to beat him up. Okay, Stephen Bonner. Again, another guy that's getting long in age. Okay, I'll say he's just as tall as John Jones, but I mean, let's face it, Stephen Bonner is a brawler. So you would expect John Jones to outclass him. Let's see, who's another guy? Jake O'Brien. Pure wrestler. Decent striking ability. Doesn't have anything else that presented any type of problems to John Jones. And then Andre Guzman, enough said. Okay? And then, you know, Ryan Bader. Ryan Bader, I picked him in that fight against John Jones because I felt that Bader was a better wrestler. He might not have been a better striker than John Jones, but he was a more powerful striker. And, you know, at least he incorporated knees and kicks. Well, not kicks, but, you know, he'll throw a couple of flying knees here and there. But I think he matched up well with John Jones. I think what got Ryan Bader overwhelmed was when John Jones took him down repeatedly. Because wrestlers, they don't like to be on their back. That's been a known Achilles heel for all wrestlers. No wrestlers love to be on their back. Especially dominant wrestlers. And Ryan Bader is a dominant wrestler. You know? So, he was kind of stunned that John Jones was going to be able to take him down so easily. And he got submitted. For the first time in his career. So, yeah. You know, I mean, it was still an impressive win because of the way John Jones did it, but still, like, Ryan Bader wasn't as well-rounded as John Jones is. I mean, let's just be for real. Let's come to the forefront, okay? And plus, you know, John Jones outsized him, you know, and of course he had the longer reach. So yeah, it was going to be difficult for Ryan Bader to try to get on the inside and try to take John Jones down. But with all that being said, Shogun Rua is head and shoulders, peaks and valleys far above those guys. Far above those guys, okay? Shogun Rua is probably one of the most technical Muay Thai fighters I've ever seen, besides Anderson Silva and Thiago Alves, and probably and maybe Czech Congo. Like, Shogun is like a real sharp striker, and he's one of the best strikers in the UFC. Bottom line. And John Jones needs to realize that. And you know, I've noticed a lot of change of pace in John Jones lately. You know, ever since he got this title shot, you know, he's been out here, you know, dancing and, you know, smiling all extra hard, and, you know, he's out here boasting that, oh, he's gonna hold the belt for a long time, and, you know, all this other stuff, and it's time for the rise of John Jones and all this other stuff. You know, just all egotistical. But see, little does he know, if he's not careful, that stuff can come back and haunt him. Because talent beats preparation any day of the week. I'm going to tell you that right now. Ask BJ Penn. Talent beats preparation any day of the week. And I can guarantee you, Shogun has been preparing for John Jones. He's not going to rely on his talent to win this fight. He's going to go strictly off of what he's seen, and he's going to navigate that into his game plan for this fight. Bottom line, Shogun is a very good strategist. People don't know that because they get blinded by, you know, his wild, unpredictable style. Even though it's not really wild, but in people's minds, it is wild. But to me, it's very technical, very precise, and very cunning. So Shogun knows how to put together a strategy for a fight. Just look at his last 2 fights with Lyoto Machida. First fight, he completely obliterated Machida, literally chopped his leg off the hinges with leg kicks, and busted his lip, and gave him a black eye. Then the next fight, he did him one even better. He upped the ante and knocked the guy out. So just imagine if he did that to Lyoto Machida, just imagine what he'll do to Jon Jones. You know, the MMA analyst, he made a very good point for this fight, and I'm going to wrap this on up. He said Jon Jones is not going to come out and try to strike with Shogun Rua. And you know what? I kind of agree with that. Because if I met somebody that was better at striking than I was, which is what Shogun is, than Jon Jones, then I wouldn't strike with him either. The only way Jon Jones is going to win this fight, and I know this is the strategy that he's going to employ, is he's going to try to take Shogun down and try to control him there for most of the fight, and either try to TKO him with elbows, ground and pound, or either a submission. Bottom line. But if this fight does stay up, if this fight does stay standing up, Jon Jones will be punished. Because Shogun is going to bring the funk. He's going to chop him up with leg kicks. He's going to be throwing straight rights. He's going to be throwing left hooks. He's going to be throwing combinations. He might even try to clinch with Jones and throw some knees in there. I mean, I'm telling you, man, Shogun is a killer striking, man. A lot of people don't want to believe in him, but I do. And Shogun's one of my favorite fighters anyway, so I'm behind him regardless. But Jon Jones is good too. You know, I mean, I respect, you know, what he's done. You know, he's one of the hottest young MMA prospects right now, and he's been on a roll. But you know what? I think on this night, I think he will meet his match. He will meet his match, and Shogun is gonna show Jon Jones how you strike. And even if he does get taken down, alright, Shogun's got good arm bars. He's got good triangle chokes. Heck, I even think if Jon Jones takes Shogun down, Shogun has very good sweeps and could possibly either get a knee bar or a toe hold or anything of that nature. So, I mean, if Jon Jones decides to take Shogun down on second thought, fine. I'm sure Shogun's been sharpening up his jiu-jitsu skills. I'm sure he has. But but the way I see Shogun winning this fight is I think he's gonna try to keep it standing and make a statement, and he's gonna end up leveling Jon Jones either with a straight right or either a combination followed by a knee, or either he's gonna knock Jon Jones down, he's gonna catch him with something, maybe a right hook or something, and just follow him to the mat and pound him out. And you know what? I'm going to say this is going to happen somewhere, I'm going to say in the middle of the second round. I'll say that. The only way Jon Jones is going to win this fight, and I am giving Jon Jones a chance, because after all, he is the favorite, right? Supposedly. I think personally Shogun is, but anyway, be that as it may, you know, being that Jon Jones, you know, is the favorite, and he is a great fighter, so I give him that respect. So the only way Jon Jones wins this fight is if he takes Shogun down repeatedly, control him, try to tire him out, or either TKOs him or submits him. That's it. But you know what? I think Shogun is so determined to make a statement. I think he's going to stuff Jon Jones' takedowns, and I think that he's going to keep the fight standing, and he's going to TKO Jon Jones in the middle of the second round. This fight will not go 5 rounds. Trust me. So that's my prediction. Enjoy the fight.